It's a new day, guys, and I hope you are all having an amazing day. Today I'll be counting down 5 features that I would love to see in the chapter 3 update for Raft. Number 5 would be the giant squid that I would love to see feature at the bottom of Varuna Point. Now, it doesn't have to be a giant squid, but as you guys know, we currently only have the mama bear in the game as the boss enemy. That's quite hard to take down, and it's fun to battle and fight with your friends. You often have to actually prepare for the battle. It's actually not easy to do, and you often die quite a lot of times as well. So I think Raft need another proper boss battle, and perhaps Varuna Point could be the place to introduce a good old sea monster, whether that's a crocodile or an octopus or a squid or even a megalodon, like a mutated version of Bruce. Who knows what we're actually going to get? In a few days time I'll be dropping another video which will actually discuss this new boss, and you guys better not miss that because it's very important. With any kind of boss that would get added, there would be something that the boss is actually protecting. So I'm thinking there might be treasure down there. You might also get new harpoon guns or new scuba gear to actually be able to defend against this boss and kill it, because currently any kind of sea monster would probably take us down because there's not really anything to give us an advantage in the water. So as I was saying, harpoon guns, you know, something to give us the upper hand. But who knows what this monster might drop? It might be ink sacs if it's a giant squid. It might be obviously the big head. This new boss mob, which I genuinely think they will add, could even be bigger than, let's say, the whale, which is currently the biggest mob in the game as we know. It doesn't really do anything though, it kind of just stays there and looks at us. But it could be awesome if they had a giant squid, because those things do lurk very deep in the ocean, and as we know, Varuna Point is going to be the deepest point in the game, as devs have already teased countless times. So I really can't wait to see what they're going to put down there, because I think it will be a really cool boss fight. Now at number 4 is a pretty unique idea of mine. I've seen it before on mods and stuff, where you kind of have a remote, as seen in the TV mod for example. You've got a remote which can turn on the TV and turn it off, but this is kind of different. I'd like a remote which you can craft using, let's say, titanium or iron, who knows, and you can actually control your engines and your anchors with it without having to be on your raft. And now the reason for this is because some people have really giant rafts, and in order to actually get to that anchor, they often have to run about for about 30 minutes to find it, and by the time they've actually found the anchor, dropped it, they've already passed the island that they wanted to go to. So I'm thinking, why not have a remote control that you can just put in your hotbar? You can go onto the island, run onto it, and just put the anchor down whenever you want. You can't tell me that wouldn't improve the quality of life. Now, I'm not sure if it would actually fit into the theme of Raft. As you know, it's quite a realistic game, and you don't really have electricity really, apart from maybe engines and batteries. But I really don't see them adding this one in the near future, because currently materials on the game are quite scarce, and remote control in order to craft one would probably require a lot of special ingredients which currently just aren't in the game. But who knows, maybe Varuna Point will add that electricity and sort of Wi-Fi stuff that you'll need to actually set up a remote. Now at number 3 is the brand new interactable items that I would love to see in the game. Now I know in the renovation update they added a bunch of stuff which kind of just sits there and does nothing. For example, the toilet, the books, the plates, the cutlery, you know, the fireplace, the pile of logs, all of those sort of things, they're just kind of cosmetics. They don't do anything. Now although that is cool and it polishes the game, makes it more immersive because there's more features, it doesn't really fit my style of gameplay. I'd love to interact with almost everything, and now I know that's hard to implement into a game. Let's be honest guys, if you could actually store logs on the pile of logs and use it as a storage device next to your fireplace for example, that would just be so cool. Who wouldn't like the idea of setting up a whole table, putting food on the plate, eating it like you would in real life with the cutlery, even if it's just a stupid animation, which it probably would be? That would just be so cool. And obviously with the fireplace you could make it so that you could turn it off and on and put logs in it, make it warmer, make it colder. Currently we've got thirst and hunger. Why not add a temperature bar, and then you can add the fireplace, and in order to get warmth you have to put more logs in. I just think it would add a whole nother aspect to the game. Now this one's going to be interesting. Number 2, seasons. Now I know this is very hard to implement into a lot of games, and it was something that even Notch, the original developer creator of Minecraft, did consider, and he's always wanted to add it to Minecraft, and it's one of his biggest regrets. Now I really think Raft could suit seasons perfectly. Now obviously if you don't know what I'm on about summer, winter, spring, autumn, or if you're American it's like fall, and I don't know how you guys do all that different language stuff. Fall, I don't even know what that means. But anyways, Raft, as you guys know, has days, in-game days, and I believe they're 20 minutes long. Now what I was considering is maybe every 25 days the game changes seasons, and it has 4 seasons in 100 days obviously, so that's a year. So it might start off with summer, and then you might go into autumn, I think it is, and then you go into winter, and then spring, and then summer, and it loops just like that. And maybe like Stardew Valley or all those farming games, you can have certain crops that actually grow in certain seasons, and obviously if you plant, for example, strawberries in the winter, they just won't grow. Nothing will happen, they'll just die off. I think that would be an awesome idea, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm coming up with a lot of these ideas on the fly, so if they don't make sense to you guys, I'm sorry, but to me, it's so clear in my head that seasons in Raft just suit the game. I feel like Raft was made to have different seasons in the game because it would just be so cool, and I don't think any of you can deny it, because how cool would it be to visit Tangaroa in the winter? And you know, if you don't want to visit Vazagatan in the winter, you could wait until the summer and then visit it with your friends. It probably won't be added though, because it would be a big task, and you know, it's not an easy thing to do, you know, adding snow and all of that. But please, please, please consider this for the future, because I think it would be so awesome. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments, because I'm very interested to hear your thoughts about it. And lastly, at number 1, I've said that I would love to see the stack size limit increased from 20 to 40. Now, it's very simplified, and it's probably quite an easy thing to implement as well, and it all really depends on whether Redbeat actually want to do it and whether the community feel it's right for the game, because currently Raft is trying to go for that half realistic but half fantasy style. I don't think they're gonna do this, but I personally would love to see it in the game, or maybe even as an option. You know, when you boot up a world, you should have the option to select the max stack size, maybe the weather, you know, all of that sort of thing. Just those customizability options to tailor to your favorite gameplay style, because currently, I'm gonna be honest, especially early game, because even late game, you don't get much storage, right? So pretty much all the time, you're having to deal with a full inventory when exploring places. You have to go back and forth. If you look at a game like My Time at Portia, I understand they have loads of items in the game, but they do make it so there's literally no stack size. They do a complete different approach and just say, hey, you can pretty much live with these things in your inventory and storage isn't the biggest aspect. So why not strike a middle balance where you utilize storage, but you can also explore things without having to go back and forth between you and your raft. And it would just make things easier. Let's be honest, the quality of life would be upped a ton, because early game, a lot of the time you have to focus on making storages to actually keep collecting things, and that can also be a hassle because then you're using your wood on storages instead of actually making your raft pretty. And of course, a lot of people buy this game to make your raft pretty, and they can do creative, of course, but why do they have to wait so long just because they have to craft storage after storage after storage just in order to fit their basic items in? And some things you actually end up having to throw away, mainly because you can't fit them in your storage and you need space in your inventory, which is okay, I get it, but please increase the stack size to even 30 would be so helpful. I genuinely think the community would like this because it improves the quality of life, and I don't really see any downside apart from maybe a little bit of lost realism. But let's be honest, carrying 20 planks of wood already is kind of unrealistic, so why not just double it real quick? Thank you, Raft. And that's it for my top 5. I hope you guys have enjoyed or maybe even agreed with some things that I've said. Chapter 3 should be coming reasonably soon. If you guys haven't checked out my video where I actually speculated when chapter 3 is going to be released, make sure you guys go watch that. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, why not drop it a like? I'll see you in the next one. Talk soon.